Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem, welcome back to today's Daf Yomi, YOMA Pei Zayin. We begin at the bottom of Pei Vav Amid Beis. Yesterday's Daf concluded with how a true leader in Klal Yisrael is not meant to be blinded by the fallacies of kavod. Rather, is meant to be motivated solely l'shem shamayim. Continuing in that vein, says the Gemara regarding Rav, 2 lines from the bottom. Rav kavanofik l'meidan dina. When Rav left his home towards the Bezdin to conduct a court case, Amar Hachi, he would declare as follows: a declaration of intent, b'tzavu nafshe, by his own free will, willingly, referring to himself. Liktala nafik, he's going out to get killed, meaning he's availing himself for any einish that might befall him as a result of misjudging the court case. He's placing himself at great risk. For what? Is he getting paid? No. V'tzavu, and the needs and the will of Beisi, of his home, his domestic needs, are not being met there. That's so Ovid. He's not doing that there. He's not getting paid. V'reikin l'beisi ozl. In fact, he's coming home empty-handed. He's doing it completely l'shem shamayim. Therefore, Hashem, help me. V'alavai, if only shetehei bia, that my return back home should be on that same level, free of any wrongdoing, ki yitzia, as when I left my home towards the Bezdin. I'm not getting paid. There's no ulterior motive. There's no cover. There's no money. This is my mission in life. I'm meant to teach, to guide, to preside over Dinei Torah. Hashem, help me do it properly. Likewise, Rava kiavanafik ladina, when he would go out to the din, Amar Hachi, he would declare, b'tzavu nafshi l'ktal nafik. He's willing and going out to accept oynish. V'tzavu beisi leisu ovid. He isn't really addressing his domestic needs. V'reikin l'beisi ozl. It's coming back empty-handed. V'alavai Hashem, I ask you, shetehei bia ki yitzia, my return at home should be on the same level, free of any wrongdoing, the same way as when I left my home towards the Bezdin. Furthermore, when Rabbi would notice a procession, Abasrei behind him, walking behind him to give him kavod, how would he counteract that? He applied the following antidote. Omar, he declared the following pasuk: if his name, his reputation, will rise up to the heavens, and his head reaches the clouds, it's nothing. It's mere fallacy. Like his waist, like his human waist, we lost eternally. His observers, those who followed him throughout his lifetime, idolized him, will say, hey, where'd he go? It's just fleeting, it's temporary. How does it compare to eternity? So this is the pasuk that he would apply to resist, to protect himself from the detrimental effect of this kavod. Likewise, Rav Zutra, who was already older, when they would carry him into the Beis Medrash, b'Shabbata derigla, during that Shabbos before the Yom Tov, they would carry him in order to give his drasha. What would he use as an antidote for this kavod being given to him? Ava Omar, he would say, strength doesn't last forever. Crown, glory, honor doesn't last forever. So these Amoraim would use a pasuk to counteract the effect of kavod. You know the story with Rabbi Yehuda when he arrived in his town and they came out to greet him. Later on, they found a little note in his pocket he had written for himself with the following words. It said, Mishnah lo yizaza mimkoima. The following Mishnah will remain steadfastly in place, unaffected. Which Mishnah? Ma'od ma'od. Mishnah Pirkei Avos. Ma'od ma'od. Hevei shval ruach. Always be careful to conduct yourself with utmost humility. So in preparation for the kavod that was going to be given to him, he prepared himself this little note, this little message, this chant, which he can use as an antidote, as a ready response to the kavod that he will have to face. Just a good idea for anybody to prepare some sort of short pasuk, a little Ma'amar Chazal, a chant, which one can use, can apply when he's confronted with an insight. Doesn't always give him enough time to think it through and analyze and misgaber on the nisayin. It's much easier to have a ready to fire ammunition, to have a pasuk, a chazal, a chant which you can just say right there, which will counteract an assignment, help you overcome the temptation. So we now contrasted the temporary fleeting hana of this world with eternal bliss, and the Gemara will continue on the same topic with another pasuk in Mishlei. Says pnei rasha lo tov. It's not good for the rasha that he is shown favor min hashamayim. What does this mean? Lo tov lahem l'rishaim. It's actually to the detriment of rishaim shenoisin lahem panim b'ilmazeh. That from shamayim they show them favor because they're basically paying them off. Rasha also deserves to get schar for his mitzvah, but being that he's a rasha, in shamayim they don't want to give it to him in terms of eternal schar. He's not deserving to get schar l'olam haba, but he can't be sent away empty-handed. So he's given his schar in this world, using olam hazeh currency. It's enjoyable, but it's just temporary, fleeting. So he's paid off in this world. So it's to his detriment because he loses that opportunity to have schar for eternity. For example, loy toiv, loy la'achav. It wasn't good for Achav, shenos loy panim l'mazeh, that they showed him favor in this world when he did tshuva. They gave him schar, shnemar, yan ki nichna Achav l'fanai, because he bent towards me. He did tshuva. Lo yavi Rabbi Yehuda. Hashem says, I won't bring about misfortune in his days. That was a schar for doing whatever he did. And now he was paid off. And nothing left olam haba. And that's how pasuk continues with the words lahatoy tzaddik b'mishpat. So the pasuk seems to say that it's actually good for the tzaddik when his mishpat is tipped in his chayva. He's found guilty in his mishpat, meaning he's held accountable for his misdeeds. Why is it good for him? Says the Gemara, toiv lahem tzaddikim. It's actually very good for the tzaddikim. She'ein noisin lahem panim b'mazeh. They don't show favor to tzaddikim in this world, meaning they're held accountable for anything that they did, even a minor infraction has to be accounted for, and he is nanash in this world. But by getting the einish in this world, that saves him from einish olam haba, which is way more painful. So it's actually a tova for the tzaddik. Hashem wants a tzaddik to experience olam haba in its fullest. But his averos have to be accounted for. So instead of leaving it for olam haba, Hashem pays him, punishes him in this world. That's why tzaddikim experience hardships and yisurim in order to cleanse them of their averos, and now they're fully prepared to really experience olam haba. For instance, Toifel Moshe, Shaloi Nasulei Panamazeh, was good for Moshe that they didn't show him favor in this world. Hashem gave him an einish for the story with the Meimin Riva. He had to die in the Midbar. Shenemar Yan Lo Yaman to be like Dishani. You Moshe v'Aaron, because you didn't increase the Emunah in Klal Yisrael, you hit the rock instead of speaking to it. You're going to die in the Midbar. Ha'ilu Heman to be. If you would have followed through properly, apparently their time would not have come so early. So giving them einish in this world was actually a tremendous taiva for them. They got their einish in this world, and now olam haba was completely bliss. Continues the Gemara. Ashreim tzaddikim. How lucky are tzaddikim? Lo dayan. It's not enough shein zeichen, that by doing good things they're zeichen for themselves. It carries over to their children, the grandchildren. So bnei ad soif kol hadoros, until the end of the doros, the schusim trickle down ad soif kol hadoros. What do we see? This shekama bonam hoylo la'aron. Shu'uin l'sorif. Aaron HaKohen had many sons who were deserving of getting burned, of getting killed. Nadav Avihu. But in fact, only Nadav Avihu died. How do we know that many others, meaning Elazar Summer, or perhaps in later generations, also committed similar misdeeds and were deserving of streifa. How do we know that? Shenamar Hanu Yisarim. The pasuk calls Elazar and Isamar the leftover sons, which seems to indicate that they were really in the same boat as Nadav Avihu to a certain extent. They were roy to be killed, but they were left behind. They were saved. Why is that? Through the schus of Aaron HaKohen, their father. Ela she'amad lahem schus avim. Their father's schus stood by their side and protected them. A tzaddik is mazaka his children and his descendants. On the other hand, oilam l'rishayim, woe to the rishayim, lo yadayin shemachayven atzma. Not only do they make themselves chayiv and guilty, el shemachayven lebneim, uvnei bneim atev kol adoros. It trickles down throughout the generations. What's the raya? Harbi panim hoyle l'knan. Knan was the son of Cham. He was cursed by Noach to be an Evet, to turn black. So he has many, many descendants, sheru'in l'samech, that were knowledgeable and were deserving of smicha, to become a leader in Klal Yisrael. Tavi, this was a famous Evet we're going to see in Sechas Sukkah. Tavi, who was the Avdei Shem Gamliel, who was the Talmud Chacham, and many, many of Knan's descendants were of the same stature. Roy to have smicha, to become leaders. So why not? What happened? The affair of their forefather of Cham was goyim that their opportunities are very limited. They have to be avodim straight throughout. Says the Gemara, if one positively influences others to do mitzvahs, to learn Torah, Hashem protects them from chet. On the other hand, a person brings others to do chet. Kimat ein maspikin biyodei lasos tshuva. From Shemayim, they don't enable him to do tshuva. The word kamat is a little strange. Some say it's the censors put it in because it appeared to be alluding to their leader, who was Machtes Harabim. In any case, one who's a Machtes Harabim doesn't get Siyata D'Shmaya to do tshuva. How do we know this? Why? What's the reason for this? Kol Mazakas Harabim ein chet bal yodeh. What is Mazaka? Hashem protects him from chet. My time and why? Kadei, because Hashem doesn't want a paradoxical situation, an unfair situation. Kadei shelo yehu b'gehenim v'talmidim b'gan eden. Because otherwise, his talmidim, who he influenced positively, are going to end up in Gan Eden, and he in Gehenna. It doesn't fit. Therefore, Hashem protects him from chet, so you can join his talmidim in Gan Eden. Shenemar, ki lo yisazev nafshi l'shoel. You won't allow my nefesh to fall into Gehenna. Lo yisiten chasid chalir shacha, so you protect me from Gehenna. Because I was mazaka, I taught others. On the other hand, we have v'chol amachtes harabim ein maspikin. Here it's without the kamat. Ein maspikin v'yod lasos tshuva. If one ruins other people's lives, he leads them astray, Hashem won't enable him to do tshuva. Shelo yehu b'gan eden. So that it doesn't end up that his Talmidim will be stuck in Gehenna because of him, and he will enjoy Gan Eden. That doesn't work. So Hashem doesn't really help him do tshuva. Shenemar Adam Ashak b'dam nefesh. If one is mechuyev, Rashi says mechuyev b'nefesh she'abdal yodi, he's guilty for having caused somebody to turn astray. Ad bar yonus, he will end up in the bar of Gehenna al yitmechu boy. They won't support him from Shemayim. They'll allow him to fall into the bar. So we have a piece of a Gemara which contrasts the temporary experience of Olam Hazeh and the eternal bliss of Olam Haba. We learned about the fallacy of kavod in Olam Hazeh. The fact that Hashem gives schar for Rishayim in this world and einish to tzaddikim in this world, because this world is limited. It doesn't compare to the eternity of Asad Lavai. We have the contrast between tzaddikim who mazaka themselves and their children, as opposed to Rishayim who do the other way around. We have Kol Machtes Harabim and a Mazakas Rab. Continues the Gemara. Ha'imar echte v'ashav, echte v'ashav. If one says, look, I'll do a chet and then do tshuva. I'll do a chet and then do tshuva. Min HaShamayim, they don't help him. They're not speaking b'yodei lasos tshuva. Why the repetition? Why twice? One is enough. If one has the ability to overcome his Yetzirah, and he chooses not to do so, relying on the tshuva concept, he falls into this category, even by doing it once. Why does the Mishnah repeat it? Because by doing it twice, it makes it all the more difficult. If a person does an avera and repeats the same thing, it becomes mutter to him. What do you mean it becomes mutter? It's still asur. It appears to him like it's mutter. It's so ingrained in him. He became so accustomed to doing it. It's so habitualized, it's difficult to extract himself from it. So in this case, where A, he's saying echta v'ashav, doing the chet with the mindset that tshuva will extract him, that in itself is really enough reason why Ben Hashemayim, they won't help him do tshuva. But furthermore, he himself won't even realize. He'll be totally unaware of what he's doing, because once he does it twice, that's like a heter, and he won't be conscious of the fact that he needs to do tshuva. So that's why the Mishnah presents this halacha, this concept, in this manner, that it was done twice, because it presents a twofold difficulty. When Hashemayim, they won't help him, and he himself won't bother extracting himself as well, because to him it's not like a heter. Continues the Gemara, if he does a chet relying on Yom Kippur to take care of it, Yom Kippur will not help him out. Apparently we're not following Rabbi, the Sani Rabbi Eimer, Rabbi holds Yom Kippur is such a strong power. It works independent of his tshuva. So this fellow who's doing a chet relying on Yom Kippur, okay, he misconstrued Yom Kippur. He turned it into a tool of chet, but it's irrelevant. Yom Kippur doesn't need him. Yom Kippur works as an independent force. So even in this case it should work. Answers the Gemara, no. Afilu Teimin Rebbe. Our Mishnah could follow even Rebbe. Agav Shani. So Rashi says, Me'achar she'olav hu saimech lachtoi eine mechaper. No, you can't have it this way. If Yom Kippur is the cause of his chet, then that same thing, that same Yom Kippur can come around and be mechaper. So even Rebbe would agree in this case. If he's relying on Yom Kippur, and that causes him to do the chet, Yom Kippur cannot atone for it. The Mishnah continued, Avera sheben adam lamakim, Yom Kippur can be mechaper, but not on Averis sheben adam lechaveri, where he needs to appease his friend, he needs to advise his friend to get true kapara. Ramile Rav Yosef bar Chavel. So he asked the kasha le Rabbi Yavo. We just learned Averis sheben adam lechaveri, ein Yom Kippur mechaper. Right? Yom Kippur can't address interpersonal offenses. This was Eli HaKohen speaking to his sons. If one commits an offense, an interpersonal offense, Hashem will accept his appeasement, his tefillah. It's his personal business with Hashem. And that's all he needs to do. Apparently, you don't have to approach your victim. Man Elohim Dayana. The word Elohim is not Hashem, it's referring to the Dayan. Meaning, if you have a monetary dispute with somebody, you have to go settle it in court. That's the way to achieve kapara. So yeah, if it is b'dam l'chaveri, the only way to address it is by settling your interpersonal difference. Go to court, work it out. Yihachi. Says one, if that's the pshat in the pasuk, that the filo Elohim is the dayan. We find the word Elohim in Pastor Mishpata many times referring to the Bezdin. If that's what it's referring to, okay, Ema Sefer. Continues the next part of the pasuk. If a person sins to Hashem, ish mi yispalei. Who's going to look after that dispute? What do you mean? Hashem has no problem taking care of his dispute with this person, so to speak. He has a lot of shluchim malachim to address these things. So if yispalel means to settle a dispute, why can't that happen with Hashem as well? Says, well, you're right. Hachikam, rather, the pasuk means as follows: Im yechte ishlish. If a person does a chet to his friend, and he appeased him. So you're right, the pilulai means to appease. What happens then? Eloikim yimchalai. The word Eloikim means that Hashem will be meichel this person. Once this person addresses his obligations, approaches his friend, appeases him, and puts him at ease. If a person does a chet to Hashem, how does he settle that? Who's going to advocate for him? Shuva umasim tovim. So it's pretty clear from the pasuk that ben adam l'chaveri requires pious and appeasement from his fellow friend. Omar bitzol kol machnet chaveri. One who is maknet es chaveri, he offends his friend afilu b'dvar, even verbally. Tzorach l'fais, he has to appease him to produce a mechila shenemar. B'ni imarav to l'reach, my son, if you've presented yourself as a guarantor for someone, you've committed yourself to guarantee his loan. Tokatel zorkapecha, this came through a handshake. Nokashta b'mepicha, or you stumbled as a result of some sort of expression, inappropriate expression. What should you do to rectify that situation? Asei zois eifei b'ni v'inatzel. Ki basa b'kafreyecha. Leches rapes rahavreyecha. Pasuk means as follows, describing two different types of situations. If this fellow has a monetary claim against you, you committed yourself monetarily, and now you owe him money. So strapis means open up haterloi, open up pisas yad, your palm, return the money. But otherwise, meaning there was a situation of neikashta b'mepicha, where you offended him verbally. What do you do then? Try to get him appeased. And if it doesn't work personally, get some friends to come along to convince him to forgive you. Harbiel of Reim. Get a group of friends to try to put him at ease, to give him back his self-worth, restore his self-confidence, and convince him to forgive you. If pious doesn't come easy, go ahead and you have to bring groups of people. Shalish shurais, 3 groups, each one consisting of 3 people. So you approach him once with a group of 3 people, approach him again, try to get him to forgive you. Shanamar Yosher, a row of people, Rashi learns, Shura is 3 people at a minimum. Yosher al Anoshim. V'yoymar Chatasi, this is once. Second time is V'yosher Hervesi. V'lo Yishavali. So the pasuk here contains this 3 stage procedure which one is required to do to obtain mechila. When one approaches his friend to get mechila, there's no need to do it more than 3 times. Shenamar, the brothers approached Yosef at Tzaddik for mechila, and they said, Ana, that's 1, Sana is 2, Va'ata Sana, that's 3. If he mays, as this fellow passed away, without giving him mechila, maybe Asor b'nei Adam, he should bring 10 people, Umamidan on Kiver, and go to this fellow's grave, Va'omer, and declare, Chata asil Hashem Elokei Yisrael, I sent to you Hashem, V'lefloini shecha v'altivay, to this fellow as well, who I caused damage. This is in lieu of approaching him personally. Hopefully this will accomplish the mechila. So l'chatchila, one is meant to approach personally, as the Bach writes, rather than sending a shliach. You're meant to humiliate yourself to your victim, to try to undo, to rectify the offense, to boost him, to restore his self-worth, self-confidence. And now, you are deserving of mechila. You have a right to ask, to insist on this fellow being meichel you. And if it happens 3 times and this fellow resists, you've done your part, you're deserving of mechila, and you're free to go. But if it doesn't happen, this person passed away, without being asked mechila, you have to bring 10 people. I read a story recently about a town, somewhere in suburban America, which had a very difficult time regarding a minyan and shul. Things went very difficult, unnaturally so. And there was a fellow visiting the town, and to him it looked very strange. Enough people in town to make a minyan. Why is it so difficult? And he investigated a bit further. Turns out that there was a Rav who lived in that town decades earlier. And the meat cartel, the Jewish meat butcher owners, they gave him a very hard time. He was trying to have established high standards, kosher standards, and they really gave him a run for his money. In fact, he had to leave town because they were giving him such a hard time. And on his way out, he applied a curse to the town that they shouldn't be successful. And it seems that this klola had an effect on the town. They could never put together a minyan. Things were going very hard there. So this visitor sent a shayla to Rabbi Yashiv and Yisrael. He says, "What should they do?" And he said, "Look, these aren't the perpetrators. They're the children. But there is an issue of kavod HaTorah here." He says the right thing to do is to get a minyan, approach the caver of this former Rav and ask him mechila. And even that came very difficult. They almost had a minyan, and it was raining. And finally, one of the heads of the community, president, decided that's it. He's gonna take care of it no matter what. He got a bunch of people to commit. I think it was on Asar B'Teves, on a fasting. They went out to the caver and they davened and they asked him mechila, satilim. And the next time this visitor came to town, the place was booming. Minyanim, 1 million, 2 minyanim. People learning base medrash. The curse was, the effect was dispelled. 10 people by the caver, they asked him mechila, and it really worked. The Gemara now presents some stories of Amoraim and their tremendous righteousness, that they would actually seek out their perpetrators and try to get them to ask mechila of them, try to settle their accounts. Unbelievable. Rabbi Yirmiyah had some issue with Rabbi Abba Badeh. Rabbi Abba had some hard feelings toward Rabbi Yirmiyah. Rabbi Yirmiyah wanted to ask mechila. Ozel v'Yosef Adosha Rabbi Abba. So he went and sat by the door of Rabbi Abba. When his maidservant was pouring out the wastewater, some droplets of water landed Aresha on the head of Rabbi Yirmiyah. Omar, he said about himself, they turned him into a dumb. Koran Avshei applied himself to pasuk ma'ashpes yarmevyoin. Hashem shall lift me from the ashpes. Sham Rabbi Abba. Rabbi Abba, the homeowner, heard what happened. That he was degraded by the Amsa. V'nafik al he went out to him. Omar leis, he says to Rabbi Yirmiyah, you don't have to ask me mechila anymore. Now, I have to leave your mind. It's just a term meaning after you remove the hard feelings that you may have towards me and my family. You have to go appease and ask mechila. Listen to this. Rabbi Zera had some hard feelings to somebody. So Rabbi Zera was the victim. And Rabbi Zera himself would trouble himself to go to walk back and forth in front of the perpetrator. He would avail himself. So that fellow should realize that he has to ask mechila and remove any hard feelings that Rav Zera has towards him. So Rav Zera was the one who would approach the guilty party to try to generate a mechila. Likewise, Rav had some issues, something against, some hard feelings towards this tapcha, this butcher. And the Tabach didn't arrive to ask mechila on Erev Yom Kippur. Omar, so Rav says, look, it's Yom Kippur, everybody has to be b'shalom. Let me try to orchestrate a mechila. Omar iyu. So he said, I'm going to go appease him. You know what, maybe I'm actually the guilty one. Let me go ask him mechila. On the way, Paga Bey Rav Huna met him. Turns to Rav, where are you going? I'm going to appease that fellow. Omar Rav Huna responded, he knew what's going to happen. He said, Azal Abba. Abba is a honorary title for Rav, like father. Azal Abba, Rav is going l'miktal nafsha, to kill somebody. So what happened? Azal v'kamiluya. So Rav stood next to this butcher, Hava Yosef, who was sitting in the kapali resha. He was cracking open the head of an animal. Doli Eni, this butcher looked up, picked up his eyes, v'chazi, noticed Rav, Armali. She says to him, Abba, Rav, Abbat, Zil, leave mil sabadach, leave, I have nothing to do with you. So you shoot him away in a very disrespectful manner. And what happened? Bahadi the kapali resha, while he was cracking open the bones of the head of the animal, ishtabed garma, a bone flew out of machi bekui and struck him in his neck, v'katla, and killed him. Rav have a pasuk sidra. Rav was presenting psukim. Kamei the Rebbe before Rebbe. Ayil also Rabbi Chia. A couple of minutes later, Rabbi Chia walked in. Hadal Reisha. Rav started all over again. Ayil ba kapara. Then Rabbi Kapara came in next. Hadal Reisha. Rav started all over again. Also Rabbi Shimon Rebbe. Rabbi Shimon arrived. Hadal Reisha. Again, Rav starts all over again. Also Rabbi Chanina bar Chama. This time he says, okay, no more. Omar, Rav says, Kuli ay nahadav v'neizla. I'm going to go back so many times. Lo yihadar. He didn't start over. Ikvid Rabbi Chanina. Rabbi Chanina felt offended. He was insulted. Look, he started over for everybody else except for me. And Rabbi Chanina was actually more chashav than Rav. He was Rosh Hashiva. So Rav knew that he had to ask Mechila. Azal Rav l'gabei tleisar mali yoyim kippur. Rav approached him 13 times throughout the years, 13 Erev Yom Kippurs. V'lo yifayis. Rabbi Chanina did not allow himself to be appeased. Says, how can you do that? Resist. Mechila, veche, avidhachi. How do you do that? V'amar beis Rabbi Chanina. Kol havakish. Sorry, the kasha is on Rav. Why did he go more than 3 times? V'yechi daviyachi. Why did he go 13 times? V'amar beis Rabbi Chanina. Kol havakish motim mechaver. When one asks Mechila, al yavakish mimenu yoyisem shalosh pam. Doesn't have to ask more than 3 times. Rav Shani. So Rashi learns, Rav Shani means Rav was different. He was machmer hoyela atzmai. You don't have to more than 3, but he wanted. Rabbi Chanana learns, Rabbi Shani. Since he was approaching his Rebbe, Rabbi Chanina, it works with different guidelines. We don't have that 3 pa'amim limitation. Says Rabbi Chanina resists. Rabbi Chanina hechid avihachi. Why is it that he resisted Mechila? If one overrides his midas, overcomes his kpedam avir le'al kol pshav min hashamayim, they look away from his averis. Pasuk says, "Noisei avain v'ivr al pesha." To who is Hashem noisei avain? Carries away the avain to one who is ivr al pesha, overcomes his midas. Maril writes, Yom Kippur. We ask Hashem, we expect Hashem to be Meichel us, of course. We have to behave likewise. How could Rav Chanina refuse to be Meichel Rav? Says the Gemara, it wasn't that he was being mean. There was another reason here. He was trying to protect himself. El Rav Chanina, Chalma Chazik Rav. Rav Chanina experienced a dream in which he saw Rav, the Zokfu Bedikla. They were putting him up, hanging him up on a palm tree. Ugmiri, and we knew by tradition, the kol de zakfu bedikla, reisha havi. Anybody lifted atop a palm tree is meant to be appointed as Rosh Hashiva. That's an indication of some sort that he's going to be appointed as a leader. Amar. Now Rav Chanina, who was the Rosh Hashiva in Yisrael, figured, this is dangerous to me. Shema mina boi lemebed rishus. Apparently he's going to be appointed as Rosh Hashiva instead of me. I'm going to have to die to vacate my position. So he employed a protective measure as follows. He refused to be appeased by Rav. This way Rav feels uncomfortable with him in Eretz Yisrael and leaves town. This would compel Rav to leave Eretz Yisrael and go learn and teach her in Bavel. Become Rosh Hashiva there. So he needed to employ this method. Not because he was mean, Chas v'Shalom, but to protect his life. Chayecha koidmen. Continues the Gemara Tanur Rabbanan. Mitzvahs vidui. What's the optimal method of doing vidui? Vidui is the part and parcel of the tshuva process where a person expresses verbally his charata whether in general terms or as we learned yesterday, according to some, he actually itemizes all his averos. So what's the optimal way of doing vidui as per Yom Kippur? Mitzvahs vidui erev Yom Kippur im chashecha. Erev Yom Kippur right before nightfall. Explains the Rabban why. Why at that point? Before Yom Kippur? Yeah. In order for Yom Kippur, in its entirety, to truly affect a person and clean him out, the best way is to enter Yom Kippur free of chet. Do your tshuva, do your vidui, and come into Yom Kippur already, to be cleansed by the day. So it's meant to be done as close as possible to the Yom Tov. Aval Amr Chachamim. However, the Chacham said, Yisvada koidem sheyachal yishte. One should express vidui, as we do today, before he eats and drinks Suda Mafsekas. As we do today, by Mincha, before the Suda. Why? Shemet Taraf Data B'Suda. Perhaps he'll become a shikar, become intoxicated during that Suda, and he won't be able to say vidui afterwards. Continues the Brisa. Now, even though he already said vidui before the meal, he should do it again after the meal, before Yom Kippur. Why? Perhaps something inappropriate occurred during the Suda, which requires vidui to be said again. Even though he said vidui arvis before Yom Kippur arrives, arvis also means during Ma'ariv. So even though he already said vidui once, say it again and again and again. So the point of the vidui before Hashecha is accomplished today by Tefillah Zaka, which includes the vidui, or some just say a short form vidui, just quickly, before Yom Kippur arrives, and to come in a state of cleanliness. But the Brisa tells us, even though he's going to say vidui at night, say it again the next day. Yisvada Shachris. Even though he said vidui Shachris, Yisvada b'Musaf again. Even though he said vidui b'Musaf, Yisvada b'Mincha. Even though it was b'Mincha, Yisvada b'Ne'ilah. The Sfarim say it's a total of 10 times. Once during Mincha, once during Arvis. We don't count the second one because it's not during Chazaras Hashat. So it's once Mincha, once Arvis, twice Shachris, twice Musav, twice Mincha, twice Ne'ilah, for a total of 10 times. It's an Indian to have vidui 10 times. It pushes him higher and higher and higher in the Madregas of Tshuva. And some say it corresponds to the 10 times Ken Gadol would say the Shema Mefarish Yom Kippur. So you meant to say it again and again, which will allow you to reach the greatest heights of Tshuva and closeness to Hashem. At which point in Tefillah is one say vidui? Well, it depends. Yachid achar Tefillah. An individual will say it after his Shemona Esrei, as we do today. After Yila Ratzin, Malakai Nitzar, we say the vidui. Ushliach Tzibur, however, he says it within Shemona Esrei, Omer be'emtza, in the middle of a Shemona Esrei. So we speak about a vidui. What exactly is vidui? My Omar, what is he meant to say? The Gemara will provide a list of tefillos which were known during those days, and some of them we actually say today. So my Omar, Amarav Atu Yedei Razei Olam. This we actually say today. You know the secrets of the world. Ushmol Omar Mamaki Alev. This is some other tefillah. V'Levi Omar B'Sa'asel Kosev Leiman. Rashi concludes with Kibayim Azay Chaper. Reichan Omar Riboino Elamim. Rashi continues with the words Kilei Atzit Kesenu. We're not relying on our righteousness. Rabbi Yehuda Amar, Ki Avinusenu Rabu L'Melimnois. Our averos are too much to count. V'Chatisenu Otz Mesaper. Our chatoim as well are too great, beyond mispar. Rav Amnuna Amar, the following constitutes vidui. Elokai ad sheloi noitzarti. Before I was formed and created, any kedai, I wasn't worthy of being created. Achshav shenitzarti, even after I was created, ki lo nitzarti, I'm as worthless as before. Afarni b'chaya, I'm regarded as earth. B'chaya during my lifetime. Kal v'choyim certainly be misasi after my death. Hari ani lefanecha kichli mole. Busha v'chlim, I stand before you, Hashem, like a vessel filled with shame and embarrassment. You know lefanecha. Shlo yechta. I should no longer sin mashatasi. And when I did do wrong, Hashem, please m'roik b'chamecha, cleanse by way of your rachmanas, avaloya de surim, but not by way of hardships. And this tefillah, v'hainu, viduya de Rava, was the video expressed by Rava, kula shata, throughout the year. There's more brachas about this. Many Tanaim Amoraim would add their own personal tefillahs at the end of Shemoneh Esrei. Rava added this nusach of video every day at the end of his tefillah. And this was the video of Rav Zuta on Yom Kippur. All these tefillahs are only needed as an expression of vidui. Ella, that's only the loy Omar if he hadn't said the following. Aval anachnu chatanu. Aval means be'emes, truthfully. As the pasuk in Bereshit says, Aval ashemim anachnu, truthfully, we're guilty. So if he hadn't said Aval anachnu chatanu, then he hadn't yet fulfilled vidui. Aval Omar Aval anachnu chatanu. But if he says that, so that's enough. He's been yoytze vidui. Certainly, he can add more if he wants, but the point is, he meant to know what's the ikar vidui, what's the minimum requirement for vidui, and this is it. So if he runs out of time, just say this, and he was yoytze. How do I know? The Amar Bar Hamdudi, as Bar Hamdudi testified, Hava ke'imnu kamei de Shmuel. I was standing before Shmuel on Yom Kippur. Rabbi Yosef, although he was sitting throughout Chazaras Hashatz. But once the Shliach Tzibur got up to the point where he said, "V'amar aval anachnu chatanu," which is vidui kam meikam, Shmuel got up to join the Shliach Tzibur. Omar Bar Hamdudi, watching this, figured, he said, "Shema mina," it's pretty clear, ikar vidui hayu. This is the ikar vidui. And that's why Shmuel got up. It meant to say vidui standing up, derech hachnoah, covet to Hashem. And Shmuel was joining the Shliach Tzibur in his vidui because just as one is meant to say vidui privately, he's meant to join the Shliach Tzibur and the Tzibur at large in their vidui. Why? Because just as a person's actions impact himself personally, it has an impact on Klal Yisrael as a collective entity. So you're meant to join together with everybody else in one vidui, one expression of tshuva for all together. So we see from here that Aval Anachnu Chatonu is the Ikar Vidui, and you can be Yotzeh by saying just that. Tanan Hasan, we learned in the Mishnah and Tanis, B'shloi Sheprokim Bashana. During 3 times throughout the year, 3 occasions throughout the year, Kayhanim Noisin Eskapein, the Kayhanim would lift their hands, would say Bichas Kainim, at every opportunity during those 3 days. Every tefillah that was available. Abba Pramim B'yayim, up to 4 times a day. During Shachris, B'Musaf, Mincha, Uben Ila Sh'arim, which is the additional tefillah. They would say on Yom Kippur. So on Yom Kippur, they would actually do Nesiyas Kapayim 4 times. Ve'eluhein Shloisha Prakim, which 3 times, 3 days throughout the year we're speaking about, where they would engage in Bichas Kainim so many times. Betanios, during fast days, instituted as a result of a drought. Umamados, this is when groups of Israel would go into their shuls and daven, fast and daven to Hashem that the korbanos in the Beis HaMikdash should be successful. Ubiyam Kippur. So during these 3 times, these 3 prakim, Taniyos, Amados, Yom Kippur, the Kehanim would say Birchas Kohanim at every opportunity, every tefillah that was conducted during those days. So on Yom Kippur we have this extra tefillah called Ne'ilah Sha'arim. My Ne'ilah Sha'arim, what exactly is this? What does this tefillah consist of? Rava Matzlai, so you say Rasa. It's an added tefillah. The Shemoneh Esrei, like a regular tefillah. Ushmuel Amar, no. It's just a tefillah without Shemoneh Esrei. Ma'anu, Ma'chayenu, without Shemoneh Esrei. So the Ran explains, Rav says Shloisha Yisei Rasa means it's Shemoneh Esrei, but it's an expanded Shemoneh Esrei, which includes Ma'anu Ma'chayenu, like Shmuel. So according to Rav, it was a Shemoneh Esrei, including also Ma'anu Ma'chayenu. Shmuel holds, it's not a Shemoneh Esrei, it's just an added tefillah. Now why was it called Ne'ilah? Take a look at that Rashi, 15 lines from the bottom. Nochas kamei de Rava b'Ne'ilah. V'loshan Ne'ilah. What's the pshat in the loshan of Ne'ilah? Pligim amaroi b'brachas Yerushalmi. It's actually Yerushalmi brachas. Chad amar Ne'ilah sha'arei shamayim. One holds, this is actually Rav, Ne'ilah comes from closing the gates of heaven. So at that point, end of Yom Kippur, when the gates of heaven are closing up, you say one more tefillah. V'chad Amar, the other sheet is actually Rabbi Yochanan there, says it means Ne'ilah Shari Azor, referring to when they close the doors, the gates of the Azor, at the end of the Avodah Yom Kippur. So it's that extra tefillah at the end of the day to sort of summarize the avodah, the tshuva, the tefillah of Yom Kippur, and bring a good chasima to Yom Kippur. So in any case, Rav says it was a full-fledged tefillah Shemona Esrei. Shmuel disagrees. Meisve, I'm a kashma bryce. I'm going to bring a right to Rav that it's actually a full tefillah. Or Yom Kippurim, the first night of Yom Kippur, Mispal Sheva. One davens Ma'ariv, which consists of 7 brachos, right? The 3 first brachos, the last 3 standard brachos, and the middle one for Yom Kippur. So it's a total of 7. Umisvada, of course, he adds vidu as well. B'shachos in the morning, once again, Mispal Sheva, Umisvada. Once again, b'musaf, Mispal Sheva Misvada. B'mincha, Mispal Sheva Misvada. B'ne'ilah, Mispal Sheva Misvada. So even Ne'ilah requires a full Shemona Esrei. V'oitan, you have another brayso which supports Rav. Yom Kippurim Chashecha. Yom Kippur right before nightfall, meaning Ne'ilah time. Mispalol Sheva Misvada. You have a Shemona Esrei with a vidu. V'choisim b'vidu. And regarding the middle bracha, you conclude with a different nusach. Instead of Makadosh Yisrael, you say Hakel HaSolchan. Rashi says a vidu related conclusion. The Rebbe Chachamim Oimrim, you don't need to. Mispal Sheva. So the tefillah, which he says consists of 7 brachas. If he chooses to lachsim b'vidu choisim, you don't have to, but you could. In any case, it's pretty clear. Then the ilah consists of a Shemona Esrei, Tiyufta de Shmuel, Tiyufta, it's a refutation on Shmuel. Ula Barav, that was his name, Nochas Kamei de Rav. He served as a shliach tzibur on Yom Kippur in front of Rav. So this was Ne'ilah time. Pasach ba'ata b'char tonu. So when it came to the middle bracha, he opened with the words Ata b'char tonu v'sim b'me'ano machayenu. Concluded with the words me'ano machayenu, that tefillah that Shmuel discusses v'shavchi, and Rava praised him. So he included both aspects. He davened the full Shemona Esrei like Rav, but he also included that tefillah me'ano machayenu, which Shmuel alludes to. Continues the Gemara. Rav Huna brother Rav Nasan Amar v'yachid oimru achat tfilas. So although we speak about me'ana b'chayenu being said by Ne'ilah, but it's part of the vidu process, which a yachid individual will say only after his tefillah Shemona Esrei, as mentioned earlier. Zoldo shliach tzibur says everything in the middle, vidui, and by Ne'ilah he adds me'ana b'chayenu, which is actually the tefillah that we say ata noisin yad l'shavim. We say that at the end of Ne'ilah. So he does it during the Shemona Esrei. We, the Yechidim, just as we say the vidu after Shemona Esrei, we're going to add me'onu machayenu at that point as well. Okay, let's review the main points of today's daf. The Gemara began by drawing that contrast between temporary, fleeting Olam Hazeh experiences, specifically the kavod of Olam Hazeh and the fallacy contained therein, as opposed to the eternal schar of Olam Haba. And because of that reason, Hashem pays these Rishonim off in this world. He gives them the schar in this world so that they're paid off. As far as the tzaddikim, they get their einish in this world. Because the einish in this world pales by comparison to the other worldly experiences, and Hashem wants to pay them off so that they are free of any einish la'aseh love. Whether that tzaddik is mazaka not only himself but also his children. Atzeif kol adoros. And we learned about a mazakas harabim, who Hashem protects. We learned that B'dan l'chaver requires pious. As the Bach says, the chatchil meant to personally approach your friend, to lower yourself, to undo the effect of the offense that was done towards that person. If it comes difficult, bring 3 people, 3 times 3, la'achar misa, 10 people on his kever. We find stories with tzaddikim who matriach themselves to be mezaka somebody else with tshuva. Vidu is meant to be said 10 times throughout Yom Kippur. You're meant to say it on your own, also together with the shots, standing up. The Yachid says it after his tefillah, shots during the tefillah, and we concluded that Ne'ilah is a full-fledged tefillah. Kol tov to you, and Hatzlacha.